in the canoes, ready to go here in Philadelphia. That's the head coach, Ken Niumatalolo, who has more wins, has been the head coach at Navy longer than any coach in their football history. And he's got another good team. He has been a little cranky these last couple weeks about how Navy has played. They've played two good opponents, but lost 2 games in a row. The midshipmen here in their home away from home. Philadelphia has been a great home for Navy football over many, many years, more than a century. Navy's been playing football games here in the city of brotherly love. As the midshipmen get ready to kick the ball off, Navy did win the toss. They're going to defer and take the ball to start the second half. This has been the Nissan pregame rush. So that means Jeff Collins and his Temple Owls will have the ball first. Dave Fleming, Mike Golick Sr., Mike Golick Jr., Laura Rutledge, all with you here on a Thursday night from Philly. Ready to go. Jeff, who came from Florida, defensive coordinator for a couple of seasons with the Gators, now the head coach, first year at Temple. And the kickoff toward the goal line. It'll be Mike Jones to return it for the Owls. Jones, who is dangerous in the open field, gets upended. And Temple will have the ball starting around their own 23-yard line. And guys, one big storyline coming into this game for the Owls is their starter, guy who started 7 games, Logan Marshy, will not be the starter tonight. He's still not 100% healthy. So the second career start for junior Frank Nutile.
Yeah, looking for a guy who, again, he's a bigger guy. Marcia, a smaller guy, would run the ball some, so they kind of lose that. You're going to see, you know, this quarterback at 6'4", about 230 pounds, more of that pocket passer presence when they're mixing the pass and the run. And
I do think, Senior, one thing we will watch closely tonight is what's the identity of this Temple offense. It has fluctuated at times this year. They're throwing the ball on first down and a completion right away that will net about 13 yards. Isaiah Wright, who has become the big play guy in the offense. You figure the Nutile's going to look for Isaiah Wright a lot tonight. And those are the numbers that Senior's talking about. 6'4", big kid, first career start. He played pretty well last game for Temple against Army.
And we heard Coach Collins talk about moving more towards that spread identity. You saw it on the first play. Motion Hood out of the backfield, 5 wide, and try and get an easy completion to start your quarterback off.
This time they give it to David Hood, who has not been the starter for most of the year for Temple at running back. They're going to move Nutile out as a wide receiver and bring Isaiah Wright into the backfield. This will be one way out of several that they get number 13 touches. He's the guy they think is their most dynamic player on offense. A direct snap, and he was just going to go, and for good reason. Out into the open. Isaiah Wright still on his feet into Navy territory down to the 32.
So what we saw, first play, we saw a spread. We saw the quick pass. Second play, the inside run. They started talking about more. Third play, get Isaiah Wright the ball. And he goes wide. They get a numbers game to the outside, and his athletic ability does the rest. And they're right back up to the line. Hurry up tempo offense.
A gain of 29 yards into Navy territory. Nutile back at quarterback. David Hood on his left side. Nutile's going to quick release it out. And another completion for another nice gain and a Temple first down. That's Adonis Jennings.
And this is the perfect start that you're looking for. Again, trying to build that identity, take what's going on underneath, find ways to get Isaiah Wright the ball, and they're going to make sure that happens early, often, and in a lot of ways that Navy's defense is going to have to think about during this first sideline break.
That time, not much running room. Stopped, and maybe didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. Lost about a half yard.
Big man Jackson Pittman in the middle. I've liked him, the Pittman on the D-line. We haven't had a chance to talk much about the Navy defense. They've been getting moved on here, but he's a big, stout D lineman inside, uses his hands extremely well. Tried to go straight up the gut. He said, no way.
Now you guys who each had 4 games of playing experience when you were at Notre Dame against Navy, both noted all week long how much bigger this Navy team is than the Navy teams that you guys face. That one incomplete. It'll be 3rd and goal.
Just being down on the field before the game and seeing these lines come out together, you're so used to the stereotypical smaller bodies, guys that are limited by what they're required to do post-college life in their military careers, but instead they've built a really impressive physical-looking group.
I was stunned. I mean, it hasn't been too long since Mike has played against them, but, you know, mine was in the early 80s, and I mean, there was a huge difference just in body type being down there, as Mike said we were. I mean, they just good-looking, big, and good-looking athletes.
Now this big play here early in this game, 3rd and goal. Nutile is going to throw a fade. It is incomplete, knocked away. Good play on the ball intended for Adonis Jennings. A moment had his hands on it.
The ball was there. The one thing you notice on that drive with Nutile, when he had to roll out, he was not accurate. When he got to stay in the pocket, look at that ball is a nice ball on them. Just a little wide for when the receiver coming down out of bounds. But you can tell Nutile is much more comfortable in the pocket, making more of the quick throw.
And look at the play by the plebe and Micah Farrar, a guy they really like in this secondary that's being asked to play more man-to-man to challenge these receivers a bit.
That was a good play. There are very few first-year players that get a lot of playing time for Navy with all the demands on, as they call the plebes. This field goal from 22 yards from Aaron Bumeri is up and good. So Temple marches the ball down the field. They get 4 first downs, but they stall inside the 10 and settle for 3. The Owls, though, can feel satisfied. Good start here in Philly. Temple with the 3-0 lead. Beautiful look at the Ben Franklin Bridge. Just a few miles from where we are here in Philadelphia. 3-0. Temple kicks a field goal after taking the opening drive. 73 yards down the field. They take a 3-0 lead against the midshipmen of Navy. And Navy in their triple option attack will have the ball for the first time. Malcolm Perry, kick returner. Perry, who's got great speed. Huge hole. Perry to the 40. Perry breaks a tackle inside Temple territory and down to the 36-yard line.
What a monster hole there was. He didn't have to adjust at all until he got down to his 40-yard line. Just a fantastic job. What a just absolute clear out by blocks and Temple players not staying in their lanes.
You know, we talked to Coach all week, and they said they want to try and find ways to get this guy the ball. He's that kind of playmaker for them. Well, one of the easy ways is just let them kick it to him for him.
He is a tremendous athlete, the big playmaker on this Navy offense. Navy got healthy during their bye week leading into this Thursday night game. That kick return, by the way, 58 yards. Great field position for the midshipmen. Perry in motion. Abey's going to pass on first down. Well, I thought he was. Now he's going to run. He's good at that. And he gets a nice gain on first down. We all talk about how different it is to be a football player at Navy. For more on that, let's welcome in Laura.
Yeah, it's even more different this week, Dave, because they are having 12-week exams, which means each player on this Navy team has about 6 to 7 exams to take. Some of them have already taken them, but of course, preparing for a Thursday game messed the schedule up just a little bit for them. And so now they will have to take some of them on Friday at 06:30 hour, by the way.
Yeah, which for the rest of us is really early in the morning.
Nice,
well, maybe not for you two, but for most of us, that's pretty early in the morning. That's like middle of your workday.
I was going to say that's lunchtime for us.
3rd and 5. Abey under center. They'll hand the ball to the fullback, and that's going nowhere. Chris High, who is healthy for this game after missing the last one for Navy, he got driven backwards.
And you can see it up on this front. Saw it against Army playing against a similar triple option attack. But you're going to see movement out of this Temple front, and that time the defensive lineman moving one gap over, giving these quarterbacks a little bit tougher look at that first part of the option attack, the fullback dive.
Well, Navy doesn't like to punt. They like to go for it. This time they're going to try, at least on the surface, a long field goal. Bennett Mooring, junior from Arkansas, from 48 yards out to try to tie the game. Good snap and hold. The kick is on the way, and it is right down the middle and good. How about that?
Strong start from both offenses, what you can expect. Certainly no identity problems for Navy.
A guy who'd been 4 of 8 kicking field goals from 48 was just perfect. Early on here in Philly, tied at 3. Well, you know, you do kind of feel for Temple here in this great sports city with so much going on, because Temple has developed a really solid football program these last few years. Matt Rule is now the head coach at Baylor. Jeff Collins has taken over. It's hard to get the attention of the folks you, Mike Sr., know it so well. The Eagles, the Flyers, the Sixers, the Phillies, and on and on and on.
You know, it's a pro town, but Villanova basketball as well.
Yep.
But for the most part, it's a pro town. And Temple, you know, College Game Day was here a couple of years ago. So, I mean, they had really brought that program up. But as we said, they're kind of a young team now trying to reestablish again. And with Collins, that SEC's trying to bring that SEC mentality here to Temple to try and help this team grow up.
It's a school that has, I think, over the last few years developed more school spirit. It's a school that's thriving here in the city of Philadelphia. which is such a great sports town. Isaiah Wright this time will return the kick, and Wright, who bobbled the ball a little bit when he first touched it, just gets outside the 15 at the 16. Nutile's going to throw, and a nice delivery right across the middle for a big gain out to the 40-yard line to Keith Kirkwood, number 5, one of the leaders on this Temple offense.
You can tell he is a rhythm passer, and he has found his rhythm right now. You see a couple of steps, just drills the ball. Again, 6'4", 225, more that spread offense, that hurry-up offense as well. When he's in rhythm, he's on time, and he is on the mark.
The single-digit numbers for Temple are numbers of honor. Those are the leaders of the program. Kirkwood especially. This time it'll be number 17, Jennings, with the catch. Kirkwood wears number 5. That was Jeff Collins' number when he played college football. So he said in the spring when they were giving out the single digits, number 5 to him was the number 1 position of honor. So he gave Keith Kirkwood the first single-digit number officially for this season. There's the first-year head coach of Temple. Fun guy to talk to. Very enthusiastic. Has to like the way his offense has started this game.
And you see Navy on the other side taking chances, showing pressure the last couple of series. And the protection up front becomes increasingly more important for Temple. Had 4 new starters on the offensive line in their game against Army, getting some healthy bodies back for this game, and it's showing early the way they're executing.
Kirkwood, another catch, first down Temple.
You mentioned it about Collins and what he's trying to bring here, and you know, it wasn't working really up to this point. As I said, losing 4 of the last 5. So getting the healthy players back certainly is going to help. They're out there and they're starters for a reason. But I think they really have found something here, spreading it out a little bit with this quarterback that can throw. Going to be real interesting when Marshy, who's a smaller quarterback, is able to come back, how they run that offense.
He is available tonight, but not 100% healthy. Handoff to Raquel Armstead, who's a talented running back. Armstead for a decent gain on first down.
Over 900 yards for him last year on the ground, but a toe injury really hampering him for a lot of the season. They said this is the best he's felt so far this year.
I mean, he has had some huge games in his Temple career. From Millville, New Jersey, home of Mike Trout.
There you go. Fun fact.
Nice. I'll drop a few over the course of the night.
Mike Trout, who was still living back there with his parents for a while, even into that multi-million-dollar Major League Baseball career.
Oh, yeah, he loves being in this stadium. He loves rooting for his Eagles. He is a Philly sports guy, Mike Trout. Kirkwood with another catch to set up third down and short.
I tell you what I like they're doing. They're kind of emptying the playbook with the different passes, different routes. It is really putting Navy on their heels. Navy has adjusted this year. We'll talk more about their defense. They want to be more aggressive. But that's one way to take the aggressiveness out of a defense, is to hit them with passes from the middle to the outside, the inside zone runs that end up outside as well. Now you got them reacting a little bit more instead of being proactive. They're reactive.
The Owls in Navy territory move the ball well. They will throw down the sideline. Jennings is open. It's caught, and it's a touchdown. 40 yards on 3rd and 3, and the Owls are in the end zone.
And you saw on Navy defense, they fired both those linebackers inside. You're bringing extra on the blitz, and what does that mean? You're manned up on the outside. Elijah Merchant, one of their best cover guys, just gets beat straight up off the line, and from there it's pitch, catch, and a walk into the end zone.
It's the one thing Navy wanted to do, and so one of the first times we saw it tonight, where they came up to play that tight, aggressive man. And Ken Niumatalolo even said he was nervous changing to that a little bit, because, you know, and seeing his guy get burned there, not even getting your hands on the receiver, that's going to make it very difficult to cover.
Yeah, Ken told us he was watching our Thursday night telecast to start the year, Ohio State, Indiana. Watch those Indiana receivers over and over again, burning the Buckeyes, and said, I don't know about this aggressive defense. He might be wondering the same thing here after this play. The Temple offense coming to life against Navy here in the first quarter, and they lead the midshipmen 10-3. Temple is looking a little more like the team that was the American champions last year, coming in 3-5, not playing great football. This first quarter has gone very well for the Owls. Navy with the big kick return last time for Perry. There is a flag already on the play. This time, no running room. 29 carries a game for the quarterback is a lot. And you figure all the extra hits, because even on the plays where he officially doesn't get a carry.
Well, when he pitches the ball, you're still hitting him. Absolutely.
Like probably right here. Even if he had pitched the ball, he took a big hit from Artrell Foster, the defensive back for Temple. These are the numbers we're talking about with Zach Abey. I mean, he almost rushes it 30 times per game. Nobody in college football carries it more. He's the second leading rusher per game. Only Bryce Love more in the country. 13 rushing touchdowns. The numbers are really impressive.
And at times, I think he has to be careful is the wrong word, but a little more prudent. Memphis, 5 turnovers. I mean, there are times he should have handed the ball off, should have made pitches, but he kept the ball. Like there, a good pitch, but great defense again by Temple. I can't tell you how amazed I am. I mean, but I shouldn't be, because they did hold Army under their average by quite a bit of what they're doing now to Navy, who is a better rushing team than Army. Again, 376 yards per game they're averaging. And what Temple is doing is taking the options away, forcing it right to the one man, and then rolling up on that one man. They're just playing on the other side of the line of scrimmage now.
That was the middle linebacker, Sean Bradley, who is a good player. Young linebacking core, very talented for Temple. Playing well early. 3rd and 7. Abey's going to throw deep. It is incomplete. And not real close. It'll be 4th down. And this time the midshipmen will punt the ball away.
The one thing they have is they played Army, so they got used to that blocking scheme. And playing against the option is simple yet difficult. Play your responsibility. If you're responsible for the fullback, play him. If you're responsible for the quarterback, be patient. And especially if you're responsible for the pitch man, hang there until you know the ball is declared somewhere else. You have to play disciplined defense, and you have to run to the ball.
Punting has been an adventure for Navy this year. Owen White will kick this one, and not a great looking punt, but it's going to end up being fairly effective. It'll roll inside the 15 and all the way down to the 12-yard line. Doesn't have to be pretty. Good punt for the midshipmen, but Temple's offense coming back on the field.
Another thing Temple's doing a good job of, I talked about Army leading the nation in rushing, so what goes along with that? Time of possession. And right now, it's even. 7 minutes apiece. Temple's been doing a nice job with taking time on their drives.
We saw that graphic. They have not been a good first quarter offensive team until tonight. By far their best first quarter. Another completion, this time Marshall Ellick. Let's go downstairs to Laura.
Dave, Navy's defensive coordinator Dale Pearson talking to his defenders and saying, hey guys, you've got to get your eyes over to the sideline a little more for some of these sideline checks. The players telling him that Temple is going so fast at times and able to get lined up and then making adjustments that they're having a hard time counter adjusting to that.
This is another shift to that spread identity, being able to infuse some tempo in a team and in an offense that last year was used to lining up with 2 backs and trying to just pound it down your throat.
Yeah, so maybe the adjustment is starting to click in for the Owls. Tonight might be the night where the offense starts to look the way that Jeff Collins wants it to look. That's the end of the first quarter here in Philadelphia. And we expected a more competitive game than the records might indicate. I think we're definitely getting that. The Owls lead Navy 10-3. I love the Owl. I mean, you can have your Eagle and Hawk and Falcon and all that stuff. Birds in college football, that's my #1 choice right there.
By far.
What a strong take that was. First down, or a second down run, first play of the second quarter. And David Hood, who's looking spry here in this one. Temple's offense continues to look good.
The Owl with a high for the camera, and David Hood certainly as well so far in this game, getting a lot of the early action.
1st and 10. Temple. Hood will get another carry, trying to get to the corner and kind of stumbled forward. Got a yard, maybe 2. Micah Thomas, one of the top defensive players for Navy, with the tackle.
This being the good test now, you know, they've had Navy on its heels, but now it's 3rd and long. You know, so now I'm sorry, second down, my bad, 2nd and long. But so I would imagine you go to one of these short passes again. You see Navy's now playing off again. They're not playing up in that tight man. So look for one of those, either that inside zone run to bounce or that quick pass.
You've talked a lot about these kind of rhythm passes for Temple. They have been productive. Now that one doesn't get big yardage to set up 3rd down. Randall Jones with the catch. But Frank Nutile, this is his 2nd career start. A guy who's been in the program for 4 years, but he has not played much at all. He looks good.
Poised, decisive, really concise footwork. and a lot different than the guy they're used to in Logan Marchie, who's a little more mobile quarterback, a little more involved in the run game. There's something to be said for having a little bit of lead feet that keeps you grounded in the pocket and forces you to spread the ball around to the guys that are true athletes.
3rd and 5 for Temple. We'll see if the Owls can do that here. That one complete. Kirkwood first down, out close to the 45-yard line.
Again, I really think this offense and getting beat on that long touchdown when they were up in aggressive man has now backed this Navy defense off a little bit. Good route coming back. Just a little out route, finding the hole. Good job by Nutile getting the ball in there. Nothing fancy with these routes. He's taking exactly what the defense is giving. And this is pitch and catch right now.
Isaiah Wright's going to take his second direct snap of the game. This time Navy read that one well. Wright gets a yard or so on first down. Josh Webb, who has shown up the last few games for Navy, made the tackle. How about this? That's the 22nd play run by Temple in this game so far. They have 9 first downs. 22 plays, 9 first downs. 8 for his last 8 with a touchdown, the long touchdown pass that put Temple ahead 10-3. Jeff Collins has to like what he is seeing. A defensive guy, but has a specific idea of what he wants his offense to look like, and I think he wants it to look like this. Down the field, it is incomplete. And looking for a flag. Here comes a flag.
And going after Elijah Merchant again. One-on-one coverage with the blitz.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 13. Automatic. First down.
Just a little fake to the inside, then going long.
And Mack, another big body. I mean, you look at the way these guys run. Mack 6'5", 6'3", 6'2", all across the board. There is size in this Temple wide receiver room.
I don't know if it's a defensive player in me, but I didn't see a whole lot there.
Yeah.
As far as a penalty.
Sounds about right.
Nutile from the shotgun on first down. Armstead trying to change directions. That one was played well by the midshipman.
It's a good job by Jarvis Polu on that, the defensive lineman, making the running back go east and west. Navy seems to be doing a decent job on first down. It's been 2nd and long for Temple, but the Temple's winning that 2nd down play and getting that first down, or either getting themselves in a good 3rd and manageable position.
The guy you're spotlighting there, number 90, Jarvis Polu, offered by Wisconsin, by Utah, by Colorado out of high school. They have some of those guys who had Power 5 type offers. How about Kirkwood breaking the tackle and getting the first down inside the 10 down to the 9.
Kirkwood's another wide receiver in this group, running 6'3" and just making a play by being bigger and stronger than the defender on this one. A great on-time throw, and then shrugs off the tackler for another big gain.
That's what you spotlighted. Those wide receivers are big and strong and fast. Navy's run 12 plays. Temple's got 12 first downs.
Oh, wow.
Touchdown! Number 5, Keith Kirkwood having a big first half against Navy, and the midshipman looked stunned.
Absolutely just lost out there. Just lost again, the wide, tall receivers, and just lost out there.
And you'll see on this play the run pass option, something this coaching staff really loves, faking the handoff, seeing the defenders coming down into the box, and knowing he's got his big wide receiver Kirkwood out on the route for the touchdown.
Navy's a little thin tonight at the defensive back position. Temple is exploiting that. 12 plays, 88 yards, more than 6 minutes, and for the 2nd time in this first half, the Owls are in the end zone. 17-3 Temple with 9:35 to go in the first half. Keith Kirkwood, who is a senior, started his career at Hawaii, came all the way to Philadelphia, and having a huge game against Navy. Look out, Frank.
Oh,
he's playing well. He doesn't celebrate all that well. 17-3 Owls. And one of our country's great cities, the Liberty Bell, part of the historic district. Always fun to go down there. Constitution Hall, the Liberty Bell. Temple, this is their home, and the Owls are playing like it's 17-3. Leading Navy, 9:35 to go in the 2nd quarter, and Frank Nutile, the quarterback, the Temple offense have just been super impressive.
Going and loving up the big boys. Smart quarterback right there. Take care of the people that take care of you.
Spoken like an offensive lineman.
Spoken like a true fat man.
Hey, man,
Dad said it.
If we're not going to love each other, who will?
But you got to give Nutile a lot of credit. He's in rhythm. Navy's got to take him out of rhythm.
And off to the fullback on 1st down and 5 after the offsides penalty. Chris High, the senior from Oklahoma City, who is back healthy this week, one of their better players on offense. 2nd down coming up.
And you're going to see with all the movement that Temple does inside, it's going to be boom or bust a lot of times. The way these guys slant and move around, sometimes you're going to hit right where that fullback ends up.
Abey under center. Keeps it himself this time. Spins forward to get the Navy 1st down out to the 39.
Finally moving the chains again. 6 yards. They had 1 play of 6 yards before this. Temple has had 6 plays over 12 yards, 6 or 7. It's been amazing. You're used to seeing Navy break off these long runs, and Temple's kept them in check.
One thing about the midshipmen in this offense, it's not like it's impossible for them, but it's not a team and offense that is built to play from way behind. So it feels like a very important drive for the midshipmen. Again, more good defense from Temple. That linebacking core is playing well. That's the sophomore William Quenku with the tackle.
And this is what you wanted to do. Take advantage of your big plays on offense if you're Temple or one of these teams playing Navy, and bury them early for the exact reason that you just mentioned. Make them work at something they're not used to.
Kind of a cool look at the offense as they get set to go. Perry in motion. Abey keeps it. And that's a nice gain. Close, but not quite a 1st down.
Right to your point, Mike, when Temple's going to take chances, they blitz a linebacker that time. He gets knocked off path, and there was a bigger hole for Abey. So just what you were saying, Temple's going to take some chances. They're going to slant. They're going to do some things as well. And now
we're at the money down.
Hey, those guys get tired by the end of the game. Temple's whole deal is 3rd down for defense. The money, those guys are forced to jump up and down the whole time as the play gets set. You got to keep going. Keep jumping. 1st down.
What college football sideline is complete without the group of non-travel players in sweats getting absolutely hyped for every kickoff, every 3rd down? It's a tale as old as time.
And Temple does a good. Swag is a word you hear a lot around the Temple football program. They try to have some personality, some character. It's not the word that you most quickly associate with Navy. They will throw on 1st down. Navy will, and a completion, their 1st pass completion of the game to Tyler Carmona.
And he is their big receiver, 6'4", about 225, 230 pounds.
That a pretty tame catch for him too. Used to about a 33-yard average.
Well, he's ticked off that he fell down and didn't get about 25 more. One of the better 1st down plays though for the midshipmen, which is always a key when you defend Navy. If you can limit them on 1st down, kind of sets everything up defensively. Abey will keep it, and Abey got close. I think he did get the 1st down.
Temple is just playing so well and so disciplined. You see when the Navy is motioning one of the wings, that backside backer is usually blitzing up the middle to fill that space, and then everybody just takes their job right down the line.
Now you referenced it earlier. Do you think the fact that Temple played Army the game prior has helped them?
I think absolutely. I mean, it's not the exact same offense, but close enough to where they're getting a lot of the same blocks 2 weeks in a row.
There's Malcolm Perry with the pitch. Perry can outrun a lot of defenders. He also has some moves. He takes a big hit from the safety Delvon Randall, but a nice gain on 1st down.
We haven't seen any outside plays, and this is a quick outside play. Pop. That's a stick.
Delvon Randall's a guy they'll roll down at linebacker every once in a while too, and you can see why.
He looked like a linebacker making that tackle. 12-play drive. This will be the 13th play of the drive for Navy. Their best drive by far. The pitch almost mishandled there, but taken in by Keone Cordell Makakau, who is another freshman. Not many play for Navy, but he's a talented kid. 1st and 10 midshipmen.
And you start to look for tells on this offense. You see those receivers lining up tight. Usually the runs following those blockers on the edge of the line, trying to capture that edge. Like you said, everyone has to block, and on outside tosses, you're only as good as your tight end and wide receiver's ability to capture that edge.
I don't think Navy would be disappointed if this drive ended up in the end zone, but also ending the first half. A negative play on first down as Abey goes down.
Again, just great discipline. Someone has fullback, someone has quarterback, and there was nowhere to pitch because the pitch man was covered up as well. Everybody rolling right to their responsibility. Abey nowhere to go with the ball, so he has to try and run it himself.
2nd and 12. We can't wait to watch that halftime. The pitch play to Perry, cuts it upfield decisively, and Malcolm Perry, you can see why they like him so much. He just pops when he gets the ball. He's got some stuff.
Now a little misdirection. Start one way, come back the other. You got High out there blocking, so you know his man's not making a tackle. And then Perry finishes off the run. Misdirection, though.
Well, the one down marker says 3rd down. One says 1st down. It is 1st down and goal for Navy. So we got to get that corrected. We did. Got about a minute to go. A handoff to the fullback, straight ahead running, a gain of 2.
It's nice that someone listens to you around here, Dave.
Somebody does, yeah. It doesn't always happen, but
again, that's the play you need to get going if in the triple option. But it was Isaiah Graham-Mobley did a nice job of filling on the fullback.
2nd and goal, 34 seconds to go until halftime. The pitch, this is Perry again. Perry will cut it inside, broke one tackle, gets down to the 4, and is stopped there. 26 seconds, timeout for the midshipmen. And this will be interesting to see how they play this. Is it 4-down territory to try to get it in the end zone? We'll be back to find out right after this. The USS New Jersey docked here in Philadelphia, which has been a home away from home for the Naval Academy over many, many years. But tonight, not as hospitable. The midshipmen down 17-3 to Temple nearing the end of the first half. This has been a 17-play drive for Navy's triple option offense. But now 3rd and goal from the 5 with 1 timeout remaining. 36 seconds. They set the clock back to 36 seconds, so plenty of time with the 1 timeout. Abey will pitch it back to Perry. He's going backwards, gets away from one would-be tackler, but not a 2nd, a 3rd, and a 4th.
Well, I'm not going to lie. I do not like that call at all. Not at all. When you're going backwards and you have, I think because Temple had been pursuing so well, maybe they thought they could catch them in over pursuing one way and have the backside able to be open. But a great job by Temple as they've been doing most of this half. This is the longest drive against them right now this half, but they have been playing good, disciplined football.
Right. Navy is going to take some points if they can convert on the field goal. Bennett Mooring, who kicked a long field goal earlier, this one from 25 yards. 25-yard try. Kick is up, and it is good. So just a little delay for Navy, but they get the 3 points. They can take that to the locker room. They will get the ball to start the second half. But Frank Nutile and the Owls controlled the first half, and they take the lead into the locker room. Time to send it to studio. Stay away from the bobbleheads, Adnan, alongside Joey and Jesse. Back here live in Philadelphia, we get ready to start the second half. Temple playing their best game of the year. They lead Navy 17-6. Navy leading the country in rushing yards, only 87 in the first half. Temple's defense did a fantastic job against the midshipmen. Dave Fleming back with you here. Finally, a little breathing room here in the booth. We asked the question of my partners, the Golics. So how is Temple doing it? How are they shutting down the midshipmen and their rushing attack? We sent them over to the demo field to find out.
So you see on this play, Navy offensive linemen taught to fire out fast and low. That becomes increasingly harder against the Temple 3-man front that loves movement tonight.
Yeah, Coach Collins told Laura they're playing that more that 3-man line, using the Navy momentum against them. So now when that center's coming off the ball, nose tackle just disappearing. So, just disappearing and then stepping back in and filling the space quickly again. So you're seeing movement on the D-line, so they don't have to worry about the cut block as much. Everybody playing responsible football, but taking a gap, refilling, and making the play before the fullback can hit. Fullbacks have less than 20 yards in this game.
And Mike, senior and junior, join us back here at the broadcast position. It's like you guys haven't lost anything.
A little winded.
Yeah, the conditioning level is not what it once was, Dave.
We got to send you back over. We found this turf and set up this demo field in the booth. We got to use that again here in the second half. Meanwhile, some whistles blowing, and that was a fair catch signal on the kickoff.
Fair catch signal was given by the receiving team. First down.
Wow. Wow. What a mistake by Navy. So the midshipmen have to start inside the 5. Chris High, the fullback runs straight ahead for a Navy first down. Let's see if we can detect what the officials saw. But this was just so unusual.
Look down at the bottom of the screen.
Well, you see he raised his arm there, just
kind of
right initially.
I wonder
right
if he
away.
was raising his arm quickly to let his partner know I got this one. Wow.
But they call that a fair catch. Abey with the quarterback keeper on 1st and 10 got a yard. Let's go down to Laura Rutledge.
Well, Dave, Ken Niumatalolo was telling me coming into the second half, they really don't care that Temple's come out in a 3-4 defense and they might not have been expecting as much. They said, look, we play 3-4, Air Force plays it, so does Army. We're used to it. We just have to adjust to it. But I did talk to someone who had been in there for halftime with that Navy team, and he said it was intense, to say the least.
I mean, you can imagine, Navy's lost 2 games in a row. Now, they played high-level opponents, Memphis and UCF. Probably right now the 2 best teams in the American. But they're not used to losing 2 games in a row, let alone 3. And they're in danger of that happening tonight. Abey keeps it and got tackled for a very short gain. Sean Bradley, another good play from his middle linebacker spot.
Yeah, and these linebackers, the line stopping the dive, except say for that first play of the half we just saw. But then the linebackers filling, whether they have quarterback responsibility or whoever's ending up out on the pitch man, but they're keeping Abey in check, no doubt about it.
Now 3rd down and 7. Maybe only converted 1 3rd down in that first half. They only had 3 possessions. It was such a strange first half in terms of the game being shortened on both sides. Abey will keep and gets tackled. More good defense from Temple. Sharif Finch makes the play, 4th down.
See, that's one where I talked about being a little more prudent. He needs to pitch the ball.
Yeah.
High's out there blocking the man that's out there that's going to be on the pitch man. Abey, pitch the ball. High's out there blocking, pitch it. You know, but I think sometimes he wants to do too much. He has a lot of confidence in himself that he can make the wrong read, and I think that was one of them.
Isaiah Wright deep to receive for Temple. The defense forces a punt right away at the start of the 3rd quarter. Owen White, kind of a line drive, looks like a returnable punt for Wright. He will cut it upfield, Wright to the 40, still on his feet, and gets gang tackled at the 41. So Temple will get the ball back. Let's go down again to Laura.
Yeah, Dave, this may sound crazy, but because of Navy's long offensive possession before halftime, and it's been about 51 minutes of real time since Frank Nutile has touched the football on the field. Now, that said, he apparently is allergic to sitting down because he didn't sit down that whole last part of this first half, and then, of course, maybe he sat down in halftime, we don't know. But he's come out here and just been talking to anybody who will talk to him. He's giving props to everybody, including the water boy. No, I'm not kidding. He wanted to give props to the water boy. He is fired up, a ball of energy down here on the sideline and on the field as well.
Cannot confirm or deny halftime sitting.
We weren't quite in there as Nutile hands it off. First play run in almost an hour for Temple, and it's David Hood with another nice gain on the ground. Navy had run 22 straight plays in this game, plus the long halftime break.
And what do? You get right back to exactly what the staff talked about. First down, power run, get right back into rhythm. 2nd and short here, off to a great start.
And Jeff Collins was really happy with the play of his quarterback, the junior Frank Nutile. Just his 2nd career start. Looking to throw on 2nd down the field, incomplete. Jennings got held up just enough. It'll be 3rd down.
You can get away with that at 3rd and 3, 3.5, knowing still you have some good options on 3rd down here. But going back to what Laura said about an anti-Nutile, I can imagine he's 13 to 16 in the first half. He had a hot hand. He was dealing. He wanted to get back out on that field.
This would be a perfect opportunity. We saw first 3rd down in the first half. get that short passing game going, get your quarterback back in rhythm. This would be a great spot to try and do it again, maybe target right coming out of that slot.
Let's see if Navy is a little more aggressive on 3rd and 3. Down at the bottom, they are.
Now back off just a little bit. Temple will go in that direction, and an easy pitch and catch for a first down. A penalty flag is thrown at the end, maybe a late hit, and an illegal hit against the midshipman. Randall Jones made the catch. He had the first down anyway.
Going to drive Coach Niumatalolo crazy.
Boy, it really is.
After play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 6, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Ken, you need 3, you get 4. There's the tackle out of bounds. He's fallen out of bounds, and there's a shoulder late hit, easy call. You're going to call that every time. And I'll tell you, it's very frustrating as a former defensive player. 3rd and 3 or whatever, you get 4. 3rd and 5, you get 6. It's 3rd and 8, you get 9. Just enough to move the chains and keep you out on the field, so you get a little frustrated, and sometimes that's going to happen then.
You think about the start of this 3rd quarter, the fair catch on the kickoff, huge mistake. That penalty, a mistake. Temple into Navy territory, into the end zone. He's got him. Touchdown. Adonis Jennings again. I guess the long layoff didn't hurt Nutile in the Temple offense. You wait an hour, and you didn't have to wait long for that.
Just another great job. You see him going up against Merchant again, a guy they were picking on a fair amount in the first half, and run straight past him.
Actually, yeah, there's nothing crazy about that. I mean, not a lot of hide and seek, not a lot of tomfoolery, trickeration, any word you want to use. This is just straight running and passing, and they're doing a great job executing.
4 plays, 60 yards, took only a minute. I do think it's amazing. He was on the sideline, as Laura described it, wouldn't sit down, was burning energy, and he stayed hot when he got back out there and got another chance.
And you see him right now, no stranger to the high fives on the sideline for the big guys.
Boy, he's got a game going right now, doesn't he?
He does. Temple offense playing their best game by far, taking it to Navy here in Philly. Frank Nutile playing the game of his life. A little bit of an underdog story himself, 24-6. The Owls, who were not favored coming into this game, 3-5, 1-3 in conference play against a good Navy team. And they are taking it to the midshipmen. Malcolm Perry's going to let that one go. It'll be a touchback. Just needed. There's a nice delivery over the middle, right to midfield. For a first down, Navy.
And as soon as I say that about pressure, the O-line does a great job keeping the pressure out, keeping Abey clean in the pocket, and he fires a strike right down the middle of the field.
Couldn't see it on the screen there, but these running backs and slot backs, we talk about them blocking in the run game. That time, great job on the linebacker in the pass game.
It's not like he's incapable of throwing the ball, but that's not what they do. They lead the country in rushing. They like to play from ahead. They are playing from behind, so the game plan is going to have to change a little bit. Hand off fullback Chris High bounces off one tackle into Temple territory, close to the 45.
That's certainly something they'll never go away from. Handing the ball off to the fullback.
And he's really turned into an excellent player for the midshipmen. Happy to have him back, and he's made an impact on the field tonight. The midshipmen have moved the ball better since the early moments of the game. They have not finished their drives. They'll give it to a different fullback this time for a short gain. That's Josh Walker. Another guy who's been hurt. The bye week came at a good time for Navy.
Sure did. They needed to rest up a whole lot of people, certainly for Temple as well. Temple had lost. They were starting 4 new offensive linemen against Army, so both these teams needed to heal up a bit, so it was good timing for that.
Third down at 4 for the midshipmen. You figure at this part of the field with the score the way it is, you got 2 downs to get the 4 yards. Abey will keep it. Abey first down and more. Abey, who is tough to bring down, fumbled the ball. It goes out of bounds. That has been a huge problem for him.
But that time making the smart play, seeing the end come crashing down and take away the dive immediately. So now he's got space to operate.
Yep, Sean Chandler on the defense had the pitch man, so he stayed out wide. Abey cut right in underneath him and makes the big play that Abey normally does.
Yeah, and he got lucky there. That ball definitely came out. So the good and the bad, which has kind of been the story of Zach Abey's season. A lot of good, but the turnovers have been a problem. Going to throw the ball on first down, and that one is complete. Inside the 10. What a catch from Malcolm Perry.
Another play he's going to be sick when he sees it on tape. Right on the other side, Darryl Bonner coming from that other slot spot, and it's a walk-in if he throws the ball that way. You see Darryl Bonner going up that right side, and the sea just parts for him.
Yeah, the safety in that time, Sean Chandler, came over to where the pass was going. You're right, he had it wide open the other way, but sitting at first and goal on the 3-yard line should be able to punch this in.
And they have to. Navy's got to be able to get in the end zone. They're going backwards. This part of the field, they have had no success. Sean Bradley again.
We have really seen him come off the edge, either getting the quarterback or the pitch man, doing a nice job. This is why I'm surprised, Mike, that they're not going up the gut on the 3-yard line and using that fullback a little more.
You see him going tackle over, student body right, and Andrew Wood, who was injured a little bit earlier, we saw hobbling off the field, looked a little laboring, running out to the side, not able to get to the backer in time.
Yeah, number 61, the right tackle, good player, maybe not playing at 100%. It's second and goal. A little long drive for the midshipmen. They need 6. Play clock all the way down to 4. Down to 2. They get the ball snapped and give it to Chris High for a gain of a yard. That's it. Number 99, you spotlighted him, Freddie Booth Lloyd.
They like Freddie Booth Lloyd, about 325 pounds. He's a big one.
He looks it.
He's got them quick feet. He's got those quick feet. 325.
Yeah. I don't know, Freddie.
I think we saw Freddie at the Reading terminal earlier today.
Yeah, I think so as well. He's like one of us and enjoys a good meal. But I tell you what, he's got, for his size, he's got some quick feet.
This is some of the spread off. Ooh.
And they direct snap it, pitch it back to Perry, who's going to throw. Touchdown to his quarterback. That was pretty nifty.
Wow. That's one of those plays that you design up for inside the 5-yard line. It's a play used like on a 2-point conversion. That's the type of play that is. Holy smokes. Trickeration. Try the reverse, and then Abey just sneaks out. Nobody responsible for him. That's a tough one. The defense getting fooled on that one. That's a tough way to go.
Tell you what, for Navy, the quarterback even executing fake conversation with the line to utter perfection.
He did. That was a cool part of that play. Remember Malcolm Perry, he was the kid that last year, early in the year, they pulled out of the stands. He wasn't even suited up. They were down to their 3rd, 4th quarterback, pulled him out of the stands to play quarterback. So he is experienced at the position. But Abey sold it and then was on the receiving end.
Attention to detail. It's the hallmark of this Navy program. Got to go up and make it convincing. Check, check, check. Check me out the end zone.
The midshipmen needed that one. 24-13 Temple. This history that we're going to show you here is being tested tonight. Navy has played in Philadelphia so many times over the years. They've played in this stadium many times. They are 10-0 against Army here at the home of the Philadelphia Eagles. They played Army 86 times overall in the city of Philadelphia. The game is going to be right here this season and through 2020. 2021, they're going to go up and play at MetLife outside of New York. But so much great history. Remember that snow game, and a lot of wins for the midshipmen on this field.
And now in the conference playing Temple, there'll be times like this year where they'll play here twice a year.
And they first played a game in Philadelphia, Navy did, in 1899. Now Temple wasn't quite a fair catch, but I'm not sure Isaiah Wright did the smart thing in fielding that one along the sideline. That cost Temple some field position. There's Dave Patnew, the offensive coordinator, whose offense overall has played great. They just haven't been on the field much since midway through the 2nd quarter. Nutile pressured, throws short for a first down and more. Kirkwood another catch for Temple.
That's what happens when your line gives you time and you stay in the pocket. You don't have happy feet. You let everything develop to the outside. A nice job. It's like cup protection. You see it just standing, no real pressure. Let everything develop in front of you, and then the death of today, that offense against the defense, that crossing route late. Once a quarterback has time, usually leaves you an open player.
You saw big Adonis Jennings' body buying up a lot of attention in the middle of the field.
You also see Kevin Nagandi made the play call sign for Temple on the sidelines.
Oh, boy.
A proud owl. Apparently he's as much of a Philadelphia tradition as cheesesteaks and whatever else was on the card. Isaiah Wright, the quickness across midfield, another first down, Owls.
Boy, Isaiah Wright matched up against the linebacker Brandon Jones is not anything Navy wants to see for the rest of the night. But that is just what they do. They move this guy all around the field to try and get him in an area. You just see the quick option there, moving back into the inside, feeling the space, and then making the play after the catch the way that they're accustomed to him doing.
The famous Love sculpture right near City Hall in downtown Philadelphia. They got all they name a lot of their plays and formations, especially when they run their sort of trick play offense after Philadelphia
Philly,
staples.
Right, Steak, Rocky, Apollo.
Why not? Hey, live with it, man. I mean, just go with it.
It's a city that's got a lot of personality.
I mean, heck, you ran up the steps today, didn't you?
I did. I went to the Art Institute, or whatever they call it, ran the Rocky Steps, saw the statue.
Did you go inside the Art Institute?
I did not.
Okay.
I stayed on the outside on the stairs.
Just wonder if you got a little culture in there or not.
A lot of people at the top of the stairs, not running, but doing the Rocky pose. A lot taking pictures. Armstead on second down and short. Got close, and I think he got the first down.
Yeah, he got the first down. And I like the way this offense is running right now, especially Nutile passing. He's seeing the defense, some of the defenders up playing a little tighter, and he's going right to the ones that are playing off. Navy's playing back, not as aggressive as we've seen them in the past, and Nutile is picking the right receivers and just letting his faster athletes take advantage.
We're talking to offensive coordinator Dave Pattenude. He said that this kid really chomping at the bit came into his office this week with a play that he liked and wanted to install in the offense.
I think you like that from a quarterback.
Yeah.
He definitely looks like he's got some leadership skills. Laura's been talking about that on the sidelines. The pressure comes and he throws high, incomplete, looking for right.
And if you're Navy, that's really what you're looking for. You need some of that pressure to start getting home because the back end is compromised time and time again. We've seen these receivers in one-on-one getting beat all night.
And the one thing, if you're bringing pressure like that, you better get home, just like they do there, because if not, you are leaving those guys one-on-one. And we've seen what happened earlier in this game and throughout this game when Nutile has thrown to those guys one-on-one to the outside. That time, they got the pressure. They need to knock this passing game and offense off its rhythm.
Tyler Sales was the guy who got there on that last play. Handoff, Armstead tackled, short gain to set up third and long. A couple positive plays for Navy's defense in a row. I do get, we've talked about it here, but I give Temple a ton of credit. They've hardly run snaps in the last hour and 20 minutes, and the rhythm that you guys keep mentioning, which has been there all night long for Temple, it's like they haven't skipped a beat.
You talk about the energy that we heard about Frank Nutile at halftime, staying up on his teammates, staying active in this, and you see it paying off when he gets back to the field. This guy's not going to fall asleep at the wheel.
It'll be interesting here. Will they bring pressure and try and get home and force a quicker throw? They do.
They are bringing pressure. They get a hit on the quarterback. Jennings, though, leaping catch and stopped just short. Jennings can't believe it. Looking for a third long touchdown catch. He's a yard short, 33 yards. It'll be first and goal.
Stop me if you've heard this before. Navy brings pressure, leaves Merchant one-on-one coverage, and a Temple receiver goes up and makes a big play.
Well, the big thing here is they got home on the other play. They brought pressure a couple of plays ago. Here, what's Nutile? He feels the pressure. What do? I'm going to throw my guy a 50-50 ball every time, you know, in this scenario, the height of my receivers against these defensive backs.
Second and goal for the Owls. Nutile going to throw. It is caught. Touchdown. And another perfect delivery from Frank Nutile. Jake Robinson, the tight end, with the touchdown catch.
And if you're thinking tight ends on this team, just personnel-wise, over on that right side, Chris Myrick, Jake Robinson, more blockers than anything else, but you fake the run action, you send them out on the route, and the defense a little surprised. And Elijah Merchant's not going to look forward to this film session coming up next week. It's been a tough night for him in this Navy defense.
Very tough. 11 plays, 81 yards. A couple of big plays mixed in. Extra point is up and good. The Temple Owls. Have they found a quarterback in Frank Nutile? Been waiting a long time. PJ Walker played a lot of games in his Temple career. This guy had to wait and wait and wait. The wait looks like it's been worth it. He has been awesome tonight for Temple as they lead Navy 31-13. They do culture at Temple. We showed you the glass blowing program. This is the step team. Now, I don't know the ranking like in step teams around college football. I do know Princeton hosted a competition called Hit 'em with the Beats. You probably heard of that.
See, I would love.
They came back with the trophy.
Did they?
I'm not going to lie.
That's awesome.
Nothing sounds less hit 'em with the beats than Princeton.
Yes. Yes. The hip hop capital of the United States.
Did you just throw shade at Princeton?
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit.
I think he did.
Wow.
Wonderful place.
Okay.
Not far from where we are.
Heard the academics are pretty good.
Yeah, decent. Perry.
Oh,
what a hit on special teams.
That was Sharga.
Now a flag thrown.
Oh.
Was that Nick Sharga?
Yeah.
Abey throws. Nice delivery. And a broken tackle. That's Daryl Bonner for a first down midshipman. Nick Sharga, who is he's an NFL prospect. He is also a multi-talented kid. This was him before a practice up on the balcony. How about that? With the electric guitar.
Why not? Playing some of the finest generic guitar riffs you'll ever hear on television.
I don't think that's an exact sound recording of what he was playing. But he can play the piano. Comes from a family of
11 kids.
11.
One of 11. Got hurt his senior year in high school, ended up going Division II, Western Virginia Wesleyan. Put out a tape on a scouting, site. Next thing you know, here he is.
It really has been a great player for Temple.
I'll tell you, when you're one of 11, you learn quickly to find ways to stand out, and he has found plenty to differentiate himself from the pack.
The music, the hair, and the hard hitting, among several things. So has Frank Nutile. He has stood out tonight. He and the Temple offense, they have been great. Through 3 quarters here in the city of brotherly love. Temple 31, Navy 13. The big play offense for the Owls. Where has this been all year? And the defense is playing pretty well too. Temple up big. Check out the college football playoff rankings for the first time. Brought to you by Allstate. You guys have a reaction to the initial rankings?
I like that 3 spot.
Like that number 3 spot a lot.
I'm shocked. I'm
I've
really
heard good
shocked.
things about that team and that Josh Adams kid. I think he's going places.
I think the big thing is going to be there are those that I know Kirk Herbstreit has said it, that if Notre Dame wins out, that they should be guaranteed a spot in there. We as Notre Dame fans, alumni, former players and stuff, would like to see it, but I'm a little hesitant on that it's going to happen because there's always that extra game that the conference championships will be, and could Notre Dame, if they were winning them all, still get knocked out after that? I think they would be in, but I couldn't sit here and say it's going to be a lot, because a lot of times you don't know what that committee is going to think.
Yeah, it's an interesting point you make. Perry was open, incomplete, because that is where Notre Dame, that could be a little bit of a disadvantage. It could be if it's real close, where you watch everybody else, all those other contenders, have a chance to get an impressive statement win while you sit at home.
What did we learn last year? Conference championship isn't a requirement. Ohio State showed us that. But the difference is that last year Ohio State had probably the most impressive out-of-conference win in the country, and Notre Dame, while they're going to end up with a lot of impressive ranked wins if they hold serve, aren't going to have a win as impressive as Oklahoma beating Ohio State at the shoe, as impressive as Ohio State beating Penn State last week.
Notre Dame's got a root for Perry with the catch. Turn it upfield on 3rd and long. He will not get there. They got to root for Miami and root for Stanford to both be really good teams and beat them both.
Big game with Miami and Virginia Tech. They need Miami to win. Here's my scenario. Alabama, Georgia, undefeated in the SEC title game. Close loss by Georgia. They both get in. Notre Dame gets in. Then of the 4 other power conferences, only one conference gets in. How about that?
Now there will be a lot of unhappy people, and it is a realistic scenario. 4th down, Navy going for it, and they're not going to get it. Not even close. What a game for Sharif Finch and the Temple defense. Well, an old D lineman, you got to appreciate what those guys are doing, huh?
Fantastic discipline and hustle.
Temple's defensive line has starred in this game. Now the midshipmen, with their backs against the wall, forced to go for it, and it's an offense that's just not equipped on 4th and long. Finch and company get the ball back for the Owls offense.
We've seen Navy cornerback Elijah Merchant get beat a few times tonight. He was starting to hang his head on the sideline a little bit, and his teammate, Jared Ryan, came up to him and said, "You cannot continue to get beat. Not another ball gets caught on your side of the field for the rest of this season." And to the Golics, I'm wondering, how much can that affect you when your own teammate gets on you in a game?
Well, you know, as we see a decent run here by Temple starting out. It's like about a gain of 7 or 8. You know, it depends on how it's delivered. You know, the message, there's the lifting up. You normally don't want to get on somebody for it, as we watch unfortunately for Merchant, get beat time and time again. I think it can be kind of a motivational thing as well. The one thing about teammates is they know each other well. You know how to talk to your teammate.
Sean Williams got up and walked off the field. Nutile's going to throw, and that pass was dropped, incomplete. Intended for Randall Jones. It'll be 3rd and 3.
Saw 2 tight ends in there. It looked like a run set, but still the defenders are playing off, and Nutile's doing a great job of saying, okay, you know, we're set up here for the run, but they're playing off like an easy out route. All you have to do is receivers got to catch the ball.
Yeah, he's 20 of 26. He should be 21 of 26 after that drop. Nutile, short drop, throws. That is caught. The quick turn upfield. The tackle right along the sideline. And I think the foot was out of bounds just a little bit short. Marshall Ellick.
I tell you what, Nutile's doing a really good job over this offense is using the snap count to manipulate that defense. Navy wants to bring pressure.
They've had a hard time doing it. Did he step out?
The foot, yeah, it looks like he went. Couldn't tell if the foot went down or not. Did that heel go down?
Maybe even as he spun around, the foot with the ball still behind the first down marker might have kicked some chalk there. Field goal after the timeout, not going for it. Instead, they kick it right through. 33-yard attempt is good. 34-13. The true athletes for the Owls playing well tonight. The offense is humming.
Yeah, baby.
34-13 is the score. The Owls kick a field goal. We're in the 4th quarter. Dave Fleming, Mike Golick Sr. and Jr. A little squib kick, and Navy will fumble it and fall on it. The offense gets the ball back. Kind of an amazing connection between these two programs. Dr. Milo Seward's one of the team doctors for Temple, is a part of the Navy Reserves. He has already served a 3-year commitment, was deployed to Africa in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. He is being called up again, deployed tomorrow. So he will leave this Temple program. Dr. Seward's big part of the program, and serve another tour as part of the Navy Reserves. And part of the respect between these two programs. And it was nice of Temple to acknowledge Dr. Seward's and let him wave to the crowd before he gets deployed. For more on Dr. Seward's, let's go down to Laura.
Yeah, Dave, Dr. Seward said it was just a crazy coincidence that he would be leaving so soon, and his Temple team is playing Navy. Some people asked him who he was rooting for, and he said, look, I know who gets my paycheck, okay, so I'm rooting for Temple. But he's an orthopedic surgeon. He said the government won't let him tell us exactly where he's going, but it's somewhere in the desert. And he said that one of the reasons why he wanted to go back to the Naval Reserves, because before he had been part of the Naval Academy on a medical scholarship, he said he missed the camaraderie of it, and he said that those patients that he'll be treating are the most worthy patients in the world.
Well, listen, you can do nothing but shake the man's hand and thank him for his service.
Yep.
And, you know, we talk about football. This is mine and my son's sport. You know, we talk about teamwork and relying on the person next to you and on the bench with you. And boy, that's not lived any more than our military men and women, and how they need to be teammates for one another, what they do for us.
No kidding. How about Garrett Lewis, the backup quarterback in there on 3rd down, will throw for a first down inside the 20, his first pass of the day. Junior from Alabama.
I've always said football is a different game, even in the realm of team sports, just because your actions have very physical consequences for the guys you're going to bat with. It's not like baseball or basketball, these other sports. If I miss a block on the offensive line, the running back, who's my friend, gets hit very hard. We saw that happen over the course of tonight. The military is a step further. You're putting your life in the hands of the person serving next to you. And so you're right, the ultimate cause, the ultimate sacrifice, and certainly people worth going out there and trying to help the way he's going to.
Well said by both of you. 1st and 10, midshipman to the end zone, wide open, touchdown. That's Brandon Cologne. And Navy with the backup, Garrett Lewis. A couple of completions, 16 yards.
One thing you'll definitely get out of this team is a Navy team is no quit. They will absolutely fight till the end of this one, no doubt about it, even without Abey, the quarterback that they count on so much. Maybe too little too late. We'll see. Still have almost 6 minutes to go in the game.
Okay, but Garrett Lewis capable. They like the way that he played when he had to come in their last game after Abey took the hit on the hard turf to his head. Extra point is blocked. Blocked by Temple.
Just that kind of night.
The Owls doing it in all phases. Offense, defense. Now how about the special teams? 34-19 Temple. This is the American Conference on ESPN. A rematch tonight of the championship game in the American from last year. Navy from the west, Temple from the east. And the Owls are looking much more like that championship team from last season. It has not been a Temple-like football season yet this year, as Navy lines up for an onside kick after scoring a touchdown but having the extra point blocked. That one, who's going to get it? Nobody. It goes right out of bounds. And Temple got a break there.
Well, that's what you look for, is that second bounce on that onside kick.
And they're going to be tested by the Hokies, who are a good team.
Yeah, it has not looked pretty. They've gotten by, but the bottom line is they've won them all.
They have, and they get credit for that. But looking for a signature win, this would be one of those. The standings in the ACC: Miami 5-0 in conference play. NC State still undefeated in the ACC, so they control their own destiny in terms of playing for a conference championship, hosting Clemson and Raleigh.
Virginia Tech obviously can damage Miami's hopes here. Virginia Tech has lost to Clemson though this year, as this whole thing sets up with the top two in each division facing off.
Miami close games at Georgia Tech, close game against North Carolina last week, a North Carolina team that has struggled mightily for large portions of this season. So the turnover chain can only do so much. They need the offensive version of that sometime soon if they're going to get anything done.
Yeah, Mark Richt talked about it after that game, that win against North Carolina. He was very happy with his defense, but said very bluntly, we have to be a lot better.
And Miami, in my opinion, would be in if they were able to run the table, but they have been living on a wing and a prayer a little bit. It's going to be tough to pull all those games off.
Yeah, you are right, though. They have the games in front of them to really make something happen and climb up in the rankings. Nutile went down.
Oh no, the stat is not going to hold, Dave.
If wow. Temple punts the ball away.
No. Think of the broadcast, coach.
Come on.
There have been 5 teams in college football total this year who have not punted in a game. Temple has not punted probably until now.
Laura needs to run over there and tell Jeff. Tell coach what this is, and don't, so he doesn't punt.
You're the punt game. I think they're happy to not have. They almost got that one blocked. Had to punt.
It was not a pretty punt.
No, not pretty. Fair catch at the 20. Okay, so that's not pretty. It is to senior at least. This is pretty, isn't it? You remember this?
Oh yeah, I had 11.5 sacks in 9 years in the NFL. I thought was pretty consistency. I called that. Some people call that horrible. 3 interceptions.
I mean, it wasn't your job to sack the quarterback,
exactly right? Here was an interception. Jump over Troy Aikman. Jump over Troy.
Oh.
That's really unfair.
Troy got you down.
Yeah, he did. I got tackled by the quarterback all 3 times in my 3 interceptions.
Jumping wasn't really a big part of your repertoire athletically.
Good 2-3 inches off the ground I could get.
Now, were you old enough to remember any of that?
No, thankfully, I wasn't old enough to remember my dad getting tackled by multiple quarterbacks during his time in the NFL. I mean, who would want to remember that from a guy you grow up idolizing, Dave? Who would want to grow up remembering that from their hero? And now when I saw it growing up, you can see why I'm so snarky toward him.
You know when I gave up on him, Dave?
When?
When he was an offensive lineman.
That was it for you, deal breaker?
Dark side of the football.
Yeah. It's a tough thing to swallow when you see your son becoming a lot smarter than you, choosing to go on the side of the ball that actually values brain activity. Okay, it's all these things that are very tough to swallow for the
academic All-American.
Which junior you were, very impressively so. You played with Reggie White. That's a nice play, and that's Perry out into the open across midfield. Malcolm Perry's going to be shoved out of bounds.
Well, I tell you what, Navy's saying, hold on now, we're 2 scores away.
It's not impossible. Not impossible for the midshipmen. That's 48 yards.
No, it is not. Obviously, Temple wants to get the pressure, but they're laying off in coverage, letting everything stay in front of them. But then staying in front of them all of a sudden get behind you when the receiver starts outrunning you.
Plan backfired there. Lewis is being pressured. He will go down.
Mr. Finch. That was just nothing but an edge rush right around the edge. Nothing fancier than that. Up at the top.
And you see it again, that outside foot coming up there, it immediately shortens the edge. It's such a disadvantage for these guys out on the edge especially.
That was like the perfect example of what you were talking about, how the setup, every technique that you teach to block in the triple option backfires when it's just pure pass protection.
Exactly, and when you're faced with these guys that have the kind of athleticism that the ends do for Temple tonight, it really puts them in a bind. That's why this drive's been as impressive as it is.
Maybe not Hassan Reddick, who has gone on to some NFL success. First round pick. Pitch play for Navy and a first down midshipman.
But it's really a point of emphasis that you sometimes don't notice. Again, when you watch on usually the left side of the line, they're in a left-handed stance to keep that left foot back so they can open up. But Navy reverses it for the run that they use, but it doesn't change when they have to pass. So a right foot stance, that left foot is up, making the corner much easier to go around for Finch.
Garrett Lewis is playing well since coming in the game. Pocket will collapse. He will pitch it over the top for a completion to Perry inside the 5. First and goal, Navy. Midshipman, as you would expect from this group, not going down easily.
Perry limping off the field after that one too. Going to have to hope he can get back there in a hurry.
He is their most dynamic player on offense. And you can see why Navy fans are clamoring for more touches from Malcolm Perry. Pitch play. Trying to get to the corner, going down.
And the clock keeps running, and Navy has no timeout. So even when they score, if they don't get the onside kickback, they're not going to be able to stop the clock.
Second and goal. Lewis being chased and going the wrong direction. Good decision.
Just such quick pressure. Nothing, even though it's a shorter field, so it would take less time to develop. They don't even have that time to develop because of the pressure coming in. Again, around the corner, pressure on the outside. Just too fast for the lineman to get out and block.
Not buying off that play fake to the slot back there either. Buying him absolutely no time.
I mean, everybody knows, most importantly, the Temple defense, what Navy has to do here. They can't afford an inbounds play and let the clock keep running.
And they must get it in the end zone. Back to pass again. Takes a big hit, incomplete. Off the fingertips of the intended receiver, Craig Scott. I think it was Chappelle Russell, the linebacker, who put the hit on Garrett Lewis.
And here comes the game.
Man, that's looking down the barrel right there, isn't it? I mean, holy smokes. He knows it's coming right at him. Throw just a little bit high, but that's when you're looking for a great play from somebody.
So this is Navy's chance in this game. Last chance, and even if they get it, it's still a long shot, but a chance. They got to get in the end zone on this play. 4th and goal. Midshipman. Little stutter step move. Touchdown. Carmona with the catch. And how about the spark for Garrett Lewis, the backup quarterback? He has come in and thrown the ball well.
You know what? Limited sample size. Looks like more of a natural passer than Zach Abey, a guy who's certainly a tough guy, that rugby and wrestling background. But Garrett Lewis coming in here, live arm, and been able to really sling it around when they've needed it.
And Navy, 10 plays, 80 yards, but it only took 2.5 or so minutes. So this one is huge, down 9. You can't get this one blocked. It is up and good, so that gives you a chance.
Yes, it does.
Remember, the onside kick was a good one last time. Navy didn't recover, but it was a good one. Frank Nutile and company, they're going to need at least a first down after another touchdown drive.
And Lewis just standing in there making the throw. There's Abey, liking what he sees.
Rooting his teammate on.
Now all Navy needs is to recover the onside kick, score a touchdown, and get a 2-point conversion.
I mean, Jeff Collins was doing push-ups. They were writing Twitter handles on the grease board, celebrating, got all the money stuff on the sideline. There is going to be a whole different feeling here if this onside kick does not go Temple's way. There's the second bounce and a third bounce, and Temple picks it up and goes down. Kirkwood, who's had a nice game at receiver, scooped it up, and that should just about do it.
Tell you what, you go over situations like this all the time towards the end of the week at practice. Onside kick team is one of them, and you saw the meat shield that Dad was affectionately talking about there.
Yeah, exactly.
Executing to perfection.
There is. Well, with 2:10 on the clock, no timeouts on either side, which is pretty unusual. The handoff. And they do need to use some time per play. You can't just kneel quickly and have the game be over. A play like that, if you do that a couple more times, should be good enough to do it.
And again, a big win now for Temple. Needed to win 3 of the upcoming 4 to get bowl eligible. 15 extra practice, essentially another spring ball for a coach that's trying to still reinforce this identity with a young football team. And not a lot of seniors.
The schedule's not easy, so it's not like it's a given. If Temple plays like this, I think they will get those wins and become bowl eligible. This is by far their best performance of the year. That's second down. And again, as long as these plays take 10 seconds or so, that's going to be good enough for the Owls. At Cincinnati, a Bearcats program that is really struggling.
Yes,
that's the next one up for the Owls. Then the challenge against a top 20 UCF team that has looked the part, and at Tulsa to finish the regular season.
Yeah, so without question, 2 of the winnable games in Cincinnati and Tulsa, especially the way they're playing right now. Again, if Marcy is ready to come back, I don't think he's coming back.
And you know what? If they play the way they did tonight, UCF is really good. That game's here. They would have a chance to pull off an upset.
I love the way Temple's defense is playing as well. The offense really seems to have found itself tonight.
Well, they snapped it with 5 seconds on the play clock. Armstead running around, and that will be good enough to get the game over. Well, Ken Niumatalolo, 69 straight games with a rushing touchdown. That streak will come to an end here tonight. Amazing.
Nice. 136 rushing yards, and they averaged 376. You just have to tip your cap to this Temple defense. They held an Army team under their average as well, so they handled the 2 option teams well. Lost one and then won this game, and then the offense really found themselves tonight.
That undefeated streak at the Link
also
gone as well.
They had never lost on this field. They have a chance to play here one more time in the biggest game of the year every year for Navy against Army, and they'll have to play better in that one to get another win here at the Link. Impressive by Temple, though. Fun to have you guys with us here on Thursday night.
Enjoyed it. That's great time.
Join the rotating cast here.
Come back anytime for the Golics, senior and junior. For Laura Rutledge, Dave Fleming saying so long here from Philadelphia Sports Center. Coming up in 15 seconds.